They say if you stand on the Brandywine battlefield at dusk, just as the fog lifts from the river, you'll hear it. A single drum, slow, steady, and coming from nowhere. Some believe it belongs to a boy who never left the field. September 11th, 1777, the Battle of Brandywine, the largest engagement of the entire Revolutionary War up to that point. Washington's army braced along the creek, exhausted, outnumbered, and fighting to defend the capital of Philadelphia. British forces, led by General Howe, were determined to break the rebellion once and for all. But among the thousands of soldiers, one figure stood out. A boy, no older than 12 or 13, wearing the simple uniform of a Continental drummer. He wasn't trained to fight, he wasn't expected to, but his job was just as dangerous, to keep the cadence that held the line together. And on the morning of the battle, he marched with the drum strapped to his chest, toward the cannon fire. As the day wore on, heat and smoke choked the air. British and Hessian troops executed a flanking maneuver that took Washington by surprise. Confusion spread. Orders were shouted over the roar of musket volleys. Regiments broke and reformed again and again. Through it all, witnesses remembered the drummer boy, keeping time, beating the rhythm that steadied the frightened men. One survivor recalled, his drum was louder than the muskets. But as the British surged forward and the Americans began to falter, a single musket shot rang out. Sharp, solitary, final. The drum stopped. When the battlefield was quieted hours later, his body was never found. In the days after the battle, as scattered detachments withdrew and locals cautiously returned to their farms, strange reports began to surface along Brandywine Creek. Not musket fire, not marching troops, but a drum. Steady, measured, deliberate, echoing through the fog, from a stretch of field where no soldiers remained. One picket swore he saw a small figure moving in the mist. Another said the drum beat felt too controlled, too disciplined, as if played by someone trained to keep men under calm fire. Yet every time someone called out, the sound stopped instantly. Not fading, just gone. Whatever it was, it moved through the fog with purpose, beating a rhythm no one could explain. As the years passed, the stories didn't fade. They multiplied. Farmers heading home at dusk heard a drum echoing across empty fields. Travelers on the old road towards Dilworth town felt as though a cadence followed them, steady footsteps in the fog where no one walked. During the Civil War, Union soldiers camped nearby claimed a drum woke them at night. 3 slow beats, like a warning. One officer wrote, "It sounded like a child marching in the mist." Some believed the boy was still trying to finish his final order. Others said he was warning the living not to repeat the mistakes of the dead. Even today, visitors report strange experiences. Park rangers have logged testimonies of rhythmic tapping from the woods, shadowy shapes drifting between the trees, the feeling of someone standing just behind them, and of course, the drum. In 2019, a paranormal group recorded a slow, 3-beat pattern near the south ridge overlooking the creek. Not mechanical, not random, and not easily explained. Skeptics offer theories: wind, animals, distant work sites, but those who've heard it say it's too clean, too deliberate, too human. One that nearly shattered the revolution. Thousands fell, families were torn apart, the war marched on. But maybe one spirit didn't. A boy who stepped forward with nothing but a drum, held the line through courage alone, and vanished without a trace. So if you ever walk the Brandywine at dusk, and you hear a drum echoing from somewhere in the mist, don't be afraid, just listen. And remember him, the Ghost Drummer, who never stopped marching.